The new garden update just released, and it is a big update. And with the potential for a part 2 coming out at some point, it is important to understand what this update actually is and how to actually play it. So the garden update is the new farming update that was just released at Hypixel. Basically, you have your own private personal farming island, and you no longer have to manually build farms. As if it mattered to me, I don't farm anyways. My farming is level 28. Like, I'm not good at farming. But there is huge potential to make money with this update, especially as an early game player. First, what is this update and how do you access it? Okay, so when you're on your island, you'll find this NPC called Sam. Usually it spawns near a hub portal, but I don't have a hub portal, so here they are. Once you talk to him, you'll usually have to go through quests the first time, and then it'll transport you to the garden. This is your own personal private island, and there's a lot of stuff. When you first start, you're going to want to talk to Sam, and he'll give you a bunch of quests on what to do. He'll teach you how to clear plots, how to do all that basic things, compost, all that stuff. And I'm going to let you do that quest. But here's basically the step process for each thing. First thing you need to do is clear out a plot. Now, obviously you have to buy said plot with compost, each one getting more and more expensive. You can then pay a robot to build whatever you want to. I want to turn my sugarcane farm into a cactus farm. I can just buy stuff from Bazaar, and it'll automatically start pasting and turning it into a, cactus farm. Now, there are a few important things. One of them is garden level. Garden level is the level in the garden, and it can go up to 15. This determines what plants you can get. For example, netherwort's at 10 versus wheat is at 1. You can also, as you can see, get more visitors for every single tier of garden you unlock. Now, I'll get into what visitors do exactly in a second, just know that they're important. But how do you get this level? The main way is in garden milestones through crop milestones. As you can see, you have milestones for every single crop, wheat through netherwort. And they act as levels, with each level giving you garden experience, farming EXP, and a skyblock level. Now, the higher up you go, the more garden EXP you get. For example, wheat gives 120 if I was to mine 12,000 more wheat, whereas I'm going to get 10 garden EXP if I'm mining a melon. These go up to, I believe, 40, 45. They go up a lot, okay? But the best way that I've personally found to actually do this is very simple. You go and basically farm an entire farm once or twice. So I just start with wheat. I'd farm the entire wheat field. Then I'd go and plant a potato farm potatoes, and just try to get every single crop level 10 or so. The second way you can level this up is through the visitors. Now, the two ways is either by talking to different unique visitors, there's a lot of them, or just completing quests in general. If you're going to level up this one, odds are a lot faster. Okay, so I talked about them a lot. What are visitors? Visitors are any NPC that can visit your island right here, just like this guy. Every single visitor has a name and a rarity with it. You can look at the visitor logbook and look at all these different visitors. Almost every single visitor is in here minus once in the Crimson Isle. Now, there are two ways to get visitors. First one is by having a certain garden level. For example, Old Man Gary, you need garden level 8. Or MSC Carton, or some of these things, you just need a specific garden level. Other ones, you just have to talk to them, and then you've got it. These come in rarities, ranging from uncommon at the lowest, to rare, to legendary, to the only special one being Spaceman. But these guys will visit you, and you talk to them, and they'll give you a quest. You have to then give them a certain amount of item, for example, 372, what was that, sugar? Feed it to him, and then you complete this. This is the only way to get copper. And copper is used in the Sky Mart to buy a bunch of different things, from scythes to books to axes to skins. Now, usually these appear every 15 minutes. You can see in the top right beneath my copper, it shows the next visitor is coming. It happens every 15 minutes, but there are two ways to speed this up. First, if you have, I believe it's 50 unique visitors, this number should change. It should change around 12 minutes once you have, I believe, 50 unique visitors. Now, important thing with the garden, visitors will only visit when you're online, and you can only have 5 visitors at one time. There is another way to make this go down. As you can see, it's going down by 1 second. But when you're farming crops, this timer goes down a lot faster. So let's just say I'm farming wheat. Let's look at the timer. As you can see, it's skipping by 3 seconds. So by actively farming on your island, you can usually get a visitor every 5 to 7 minutes. You can't really AFK it, but it is the only way to get copper, minus, of course, subscribing, because when you subscribe, you get 1,000 copper. I swear, you should do that. If you subscribe, it'll make me happy. You want to see me happy, right? Sadly, you cannot AFK this though because of false requirements. But something you can AFK, Compost. Compost is used to buy new plots. If you go and look at our configure plots, we can see you need a good amount of compost to buy some of these plots. And the way to get these compost is through, well, the composter. How it works is very simple. You can have organic matter fill up to 40,000 coins, or 40,000, and then you have fuel, which is literally just from the Skymart biofuel. Once you have both these filled, you can start producing compost every 10 minutes. Now, each crop gives a different amount of compost. For example, an enchanted potato is going to give you 52, while enchanted sugarcane is going to give you 12,000. So generally speaking, I recommend doing an enchanted sugarcane. It's easy, and it's not too bad at all. Just insert it, and we're up to 40,000 just like that. Generally speaking, it'll cost you 500,000 coins to get a full thing of this done if you're using enchanted sugarcane. That'll give you 10 compost, and 10 compost is worth, well, a pretty good amount. So you can make 1,000,000 coins over like 1.5 hours from doing this. Although I really did wish that you could put more organic matter, but that's just me. In addition to all the stuff from the desk and the visitors and the actual farming, there is also new armor sets. This includes the melon armor starting at base, and then it can be upgraded using crappies, squash, and fermento. Melon first off will cost you around 3,000,000 coins per, or in total. And it gives you farming fortune base, which is pretty good, but its main ability, Farmer's Grace, is a good thing. Basically speaking, when farming wheat, carrots, and potatoes, you have a 0.03% chance of dropping a crappie, as we can see in Bazaar. Now this isn't worth much. These crappies can be used to upgrade the melon armor into crappie armor. And then crappie armor, I don't have high enough farming to use it, so don't yell at me. But crappie armor gives you more farming fortune, and has a chance to give you squash, lower chance, but still a chance to give you squash from pumpkins, melons, and cocoa beans. As you guessed, squash is more expensive at 140,000 coins per, and guess what you can use squash to craft? You can use it to turn crappie armor, with other stuff such as melon blocks and polished pumpkin, into squash armor. Now, squash armor gives even more farming fortune and just generally better stats. Also has a better ability of mento fermento. When farming sugarcane, cacti, mushrooms, and netherworts, you have a small chance of dropping a fermento. Now, this is where the real money starts to roll in, because fermentos are worth 1,000,000 coins per. Then you have to be farming the specific item. For example, this one, or the melon armor, only works on wheat, carrots, and potatoes. If I'm out there farming sugarcane, it's not going to do anything. I'm not going to be getting any crappies. But we still have to talk about the most expensive tier, fermento armor. It's expensive, let's just put it that way. And it's the best farming armor in the game right now. It gives a bunch of farming fortune. It also just has the ability of Feast, where it has all of the abilities from melon, crappie, and squash armor combined. Basically speaking, when you have fermento armor, no matter what crop you're farming, you have a chance to get crappies, squash, or fermentos, respectively, depending on whatever it is. But now, the thing we've all been waiting for, money. How do you make money with this update? There's a few ways that I'm going to be going over. First, obviously compost. I went over this, but it's like 1 to 2 million coins every 2 hours in just AFK. It's really good as long as you make sure it's filled. Super solid method. With this update, the prices of stuff rose. Unshockingly, melon didn't rise much, but there are a few main things that rose a lot. Number 1, wheat. 24 and 19 and 29 and 24. So farming wheat, I highly recommend. I'll do a 10-minute test later of farming wheat, but it's pretty ridiculous and you can do it super early game. The other crop that shot up a lot was pumpkin, with pumpkin being worth 25 to 32 coins per. So if you are actually going to be farming, I highly recommend, for money of course, I recommend farming wheat or pumpkins. Or if you have fermento armor, do sugarcane in other words. Just running back and forth and farming, you can make so much money. I'm talking around 7 million coins an hour if you don't get a whole lot of good drops. If you get like average luck, 7 million coins an hour. But in addition to this, because of this update, it caused a lot of demand for farming tools, including mathematical blueprints. This is something you can buy from Anita for, I believe, 1 gold coin. Yes, 1 gold medal. You can also buy pumpkin dicers and all that other stuff as well. But there is a high demand for mathematical blueprints. As you can see, we get people asking if they can buy pumpkin dexters from someone. We've got people asking if they can buy some of this stuff. A gold medal right now is around, I want to say, 5 to 6 million coins per. So just by competing in farming events and doing other stuff, you can make so much money. That's what I personally recommend you do. Farm and try to get gold medals if you can. If not, silvers work just fine. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.